ThaBoxingvoice.com here in Las Vegas with 135 lightweight contender Jamaine Ortiz. Champ, how you feeling?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great.
Out here in Vegas for camp, about 4 weeks out now. You step back into the ring. Obviously, you were scheduled to go earlier this year. That couldn't happen.
Yeah.
But you're stepping back into the ring at a catch weight of 138 pounds. How do you feel? How do you feel about the weight going into this fight?
I feel great. I feel great about my weight now, about the catch weight. I'm just ready to get back in the ring and perform and be at my best.
Now, right now, I feel like a very interesting time. The lightweight division, anywhere from 135 to 147, I feel is like very intriguing right now. A lot of rumors, a lot of potential fights. Do you feel that once you get back into the ring, you could step into any one of these big fights, especially if Devin Haney does move up and those belts become vacant?
Yes, I do believe after this fight, I'm bound to be in a big fight. That's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. Definitely for a world championship.
Now, I think right now you're maybe 6 or 7 in the WBC, but you step into the ring next month. They call you for a December fight against Shakur Stevenson for the title. You ready to go?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, champ, talk to us, man. We've been seeing you been in Dubai a lot. What's going on with you? How's life been?
I just been training everywhere I go. I'm always working, always training, and just trying to get better at my craft and living life at the same time. You know, just enjoying the outdoors, trying to be present, being in my moment, and getting to see this beautiful world.
What made you and the team decide to bring camp out here for this one?
Just a change. Just try something different. You know, there's nothing wrong with trying something different, see how it goes. First time in camp in Vegas, and, you know, we'll assess how things go, and we'll see if we come back or if we decide to take things elsewhere.
Now, you got Michel Rivera out here with you. You know, having another top guy training side by side with you, how's that been? Have you guys been pushing each other, you'd say?
Yeah, it's good because, you know, you have accountability with somebody else as well. And, you know, competitiveness, and you always want to outwork the other one. So it's good. Good motivation and good to have somebody else working alongside you as well.
Been able to take some takeaways from him?
Yeah, I think we take some takeaways from each other.
Now, right now, seems like, and it's still being reported that it's not a done deal for Haney and Prograis, but should he move up as expected and those belts become vacant, you know, there's talks about Shakur, as he's number one in the WBC and WBO, potentially getting a shot at both titles at once. If that is the case and it's not with you, would you try to jump into another sanctioning body, try to get a shot at one of the other belts, or are you looking more so for the bigger fights?
I want to be world champion. So whatever sanctioning body I have to go to become world champion first, and then if I have to grab the other belts one by one, I'll do that. I don't think he should be able to fight for two belts, especially two vacant belts at once.
We ain't seen it, but you know, I don't know. He's number one in both sanctioning bodies. You know.
No, if he wants to fight, if he's ranked in the WBO, go for the WBO. Devin wants to keep the WBC, fight at 140, capture that belt, and let him decide what he wants to do. I feel like in boxing, I don't know back in the days, but you should be able to fight in multiple weight classes and keep the belt as long as, you know, you defend both.
I agree.
Belts in a timely manner.
Yeah, definitely. Now, speaking of defending belts and winning belts in different weight classes, I got to ask you, Terrence Crawford just came out today. He was on Joe Rogan, and he said, man, fuck it. You know, I'll move up 3 weight classes from 147 to 168 to fight the winner of Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. A, could you see him doing so? And B, how does he do against either of those guys at that weight?
I see him doing good. The only thing, like, I don't know if he'll be. I don't know his walk around weight. So my only concern would be would it be like too slow or too sluggish? You know, as long as he stays fast and is still in that like ripped mode of a little bit of a cut, which will be hard moving up 3 weight classes. But I still see him being too fast. I always go for the faster fighter. I feel like he's just too fast, too sharp, and too versatile, being able to move, that he's just going to give him problems. We already know Canelo has problems with people who always outbox him.
Definitely. How do you see a September 30th matchup playing out? Canelo, that is, versus Canelo-Charlo.
I've seen Canelo-Charlo being able to box now more and more. I'll say he'll be able to shuffle, move around Canelo for the first half of the fight, box him well, which Canelo always just like lets guys get soft and starts really slow. Now it just depends how well Canelo's able to connect and land those shots on Charlo, and if those shots affect Charlo, which I think they probably will.
What do you think has helped Charlo? I've noticed a difference. I credit Juan Guzman. Do you feel that it's been the addition to Juan or with Juan that has helped him in his movement, or what do you think it's been?
That's what I would say. Like, since he's been part of the team, that's when I've been able to see him his boxing a lot more, and I would definitely say that's actually helped him. Juan Guzman is a boxer that when I was a kid growing up, he's one of the guys I looked up to, and how I got my movement and how I move around. So big shout out to him.
Speaking of your movement, been watching you, throughout the week since you've been here in Vegas, and you're very crafty. You're very crafty. Some things I haven't noticed before. What are some guys that you currently watch, whether they're still fighting or guys that are retired, that you kind of get some ideas from, or you're like, all right, I like how he moves in the ring. I like how he switches. I like how he pivots. Who are some guys that you watch?
Nobody now. Like I said, all my stuff came from when I was real little. I watched Roy Jones, Juan Guzman, Floyd. Those are the 3 that I kind of really watched a lot growing up, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And then obviously I watched Lomachenko when I was still an amateur. But besides that, there's nobody now that I look at and I'll be like, I like that move, I'm going to take that move.
Now, coming off the Loma fight, you've been able to see him get back in the ring. Want your thoughts on the fight with Haney and how that played out? And what were your thoughts going into that fight?
My thoughts of me going into the fight with Loma, or the fight with Haney and Loma?
No, the fight with Haney and Loma. Like,
okay.
What were your thoughts going in, and how did it play out, in comparison to?
To be honest, going into the fight, I was edging more for Haney, thinking he was going to be a little bit more dominant. But after the fight, I believed Lomachenko edged it. I rewatched it again. It was a lot closer than initially I watched it, but I still gave the edge to Lomachenko.
Now, what do you think it was that gave Haney the most problems in that fight? Because you said you were favoring him going in.
I don't think he was able to establish his jab. He wasn't able to get his jab off.
Surprised you?
Well, I think, not that it surprised me. Everybody was talking going into the fight. He got the jab. Lomachenko was probably preparing for his jab, and he got to take it away. So I guess that's what you do when you're preparing for a fight. You take somebody's best tool away from them. And that's what Lomachenko was able to do.
What makes Lomachenko so difficult, in your words?
I think mentally, the way he's able to just box you, just the way he's able to fight you mentally. It's not about just I'm punching you, counter. It's just the way things are set up.
Got a few questions from the people champ. The alien says, what's up, Jamaine? How many weight classes do you see yourself fighting in, and can you give me 5 opponents you'd like to share the ring with in the next several years? Okay. I don't know about 5, but if you could give us a couple, champ.
Okay. I probably see myself going up to 47.
Think you
Maybe
got-
54.
I was gonna say I think you could. I think you got 54 in
Maybe
you.
54. I'll probably end up going up to 54. And 3 opponents, Teofimo, Dazn, Shakur. Obviously, we're all gonna get into the ring eventually in due time. Davis, all the top guys.
Ryan Fraser from Toronto wants to know who was the first boxer to beat you up in sparring.
You know, for a long time, I've always asked my coach, I'm like, yo, I need somebody to beat me up. It's been a long time since I went without getting beat up. But, damn, who's beat? I can't.
First time you remember like getting caught?
I must have been like 13, 12.
Okay, long time
I
ago.
must have been like 13, 12.
I got you. Dre Bogus says, from Boston, living in San Diego, says, what's up, champ? If it were up to you, who would be your next 3 fights? You already answered pretty much the guys you want. And then Bernard says, do you believe you were robbed against Loma and deserve a rematch?
I would say I believe I won. Some say close fight, whatever. I like a rematch. I'd like to do it again.
Yo, you think he comes back? It seems like he's not fighting Shakur. It seems like he's taking the rest of the year off. I just saw an interview with Bob saying that, you know, he just wants to take the year off and something to do with the war, pretty much. Wants to focus on that. Do you think he comes back to the sport?
I don't know. I think his dream was a little bit crushed in the last fight. Like, he worked real hard for it. That's all he wanted. And you gotta ask him, what is he fighting for? Is he fighting for the money? Then maybe he comes back. If he's fighting for a legacy to be undisputed, I doubt if it's for that reason. I doubt he comes back, because to grab them belts one by one, I don't think he's gonna do that.
We got a few more really quick. Shay says, who do you think won between Loma and Haney, which you answered. And then they said, how do you think your performance compares to Haney?
I think my performance was a lot better than Haney's. Hands down.
After rewatching it, how'd you score? Because you said you still edged it to Loma, but it was closer.
7-5.
Okay.
7-5.
Okay.
It was close.
James Valdez, San Antonio, Texas, says, what are your thoughts on Shakur saying everybody's ducking him?
He's getting hard to... It's hard for him to get a fight. Maybe. I don't know how many contracts he sent out. I just know I didn't get one. I didn't get one.
Nothing?
I didn't get no contract.
Term sheet?
What? I
A
didn't
term
get nothing.
sheet?
I didn't get nothing.
Okay.
I didn't even get it offered. I didn't get nothing.
Oh, wow. Emerald J says, shout out to my Dominican brother. Jamaine, do you think a fight with you and Shakur would be possible in the near future, being that your competition has been pretty high level in your recent fights? So more people asking about that.
Yeah, I think me and Shakur is a very high possibility. You know, if a lot of people not looking to take the fight with him, I know I'm willing to take the fight with him. And it's going to be more than likely we end the fight.
Champ, before I go, I want your thoughts. It's been a great year for boxing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of big fights going on. What's been your favorite fight so far?
Ooh. Damn, name some off the top of the head.
So, we had Caleb Plant, David Benavidez this year. We had Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. Tank Davis and Hector Garcia. We obviously had the Haney Loma. We had the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight, the Inoue and Fulton fight. Tim Tszyu and Tony Harrison. Yeah, we've had a lot of fights this year.
Which one was my favorite, you saying?
Which one's your favorite?
Shit. I gotta say Crawford and Spence is the most recent one, but it was good. It was nice to see some good, patient boxing from Crawford. It was really good to watch.
Were you surprised at how one-sided it was?
Yeah. Yeah, I knew Crawford was going to win. Like, I was always going for Crawford. And I expected him to fight the way he did. I just didn't expect Spence to look that bad.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
No, totally makes sense. I 100% agree. How much adjustments can Spence make in the rematch at 154?
Not much. Not much.
What? Jamaine, look forward to seeing you throughout camp and looking forward to speaking to you as the fight approaches and gets near. Appreciate the time. Let the fans know where to follow you and keep up with you, champ.
Y'all can follow me on my socials, Instagram, Jamaine Ortiz, Facebook, Jamaine Ortiz, YouTube, Jamaine Ortiz, Twitter, Jamaine Ortiz R. There ain't no other socials out there, are there?
You know, it's now X instead of Twitter.
Oh, yeah, X.
Shout out to
X.
Elon.
Yeah, Jamaine Ortiz R. That's about it.
Champ, appreciate it. And we'll speak soon.
Family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.